All right, listen up, future detectives. Today, we're not just learning, we're going on a special assignment. We're going to crack the case of Nashville itself, uncovering all these secret stories that are hidden in plain sight. And we're going to do it with a special tool that turns boring old data into actual clues.
I mean, really? You know the stuff that's happening just under the surface? Where are all the new buildings popping up? Are good jobs actually easy to get to for everybody? What's the real story behind the streets you walk down every single day? So, what if you had a tool, like a secret decoder ring, that let you see all the invisible patterns connecting everything? We're talking bus routes, new construction sites, the whole shebang. Well, guess what? That tool actually exists.
So this is it. This is NashMap. Forget the old school magnifying glass. This is your new high-tech command center. It's a bunch of interactive maps that let us investigate what's really going on in the city. Okay, let's dive in. Every good detective needs their gadgets, right? And your kit is packed. NashMap basically comes with 3 really powerful supermaps, and each one is designed for a specific kind of mission. So you've got 3 main missions. First, there's the Changing Neighborhood mission, which is all about tracking rapid changes. Then you have the Stress and Troubles mission, to find areas that might be facing some challenges. And third, the Wages and Opportunity mission, which helps us see how money and transportation are connected. Let's check out each one of these gadgets up close. Okay, first up in your toolkit is the Changing Neighborhood map. Think of this one like your construction scanner. It uses all this data on building permits and stuff to show you exactly where the city is growing the fastest. See all those little pins? Every single one is a clue. A new building, a big renovation project. All right, gadget number 2, the Stress and Troubles map. This one helps us kind of listen for signs of neighborhood stress. It maps out things like housing complaints, or even issues with overgrown properties. And by seeing where these complaints are all clustered together, we can start to see which communities might need a little extra help.
And your third gadget is the Wages and Opportunity map. Now this one is super cool because it shows us if people can actually get to where the jobs are. It lays job locations right on top of public transit routes. It helps us investigate if opportunity is really accessible to everyone in the city.
Okay, Agent, you've met your gadgets. Now it's training time. A tool is only as good as the detective using it, right? So let's learn how to master these maps so you can uncover the biggest secrets. You know, sometimes looking at just one clue at a time, it's just not going to cut it. You need to see the big picture, right? And that's where the density map settings come in. This feature is your secret weapon for turning hundreds of tiny little data points into one clear pattern. We detectives call that a hotspot. And wow, just look at the difference this makes. On the left, you've got this map just covered in individual pins. It's kind of messy, it's a lot to take in. But on the right, after using the density tool, all those scattered clues mash together into this bright red hotspot. It instantly shows you where all the action is. It's like putting on data night vision goggles. So how do you work this magic? It's super easy, just 4 steps. First, you click on Density Map Settings. Then, you pick your color pattern. After that, you get to play around with the blur and radius sliders. Think of them like focus knobs. And finally, you just hit Apply, and boom, the hidden patterns just appear.
Okay, quick vocab lesson. We keep talking about pins. So what are they? Simple. A pin is just a little marker on the map that stands for one single piece of information, one clue. It could be a single construction permit, one business, or one property complaint. They're like the breadcrumbs that lead you to the whole story. But here's where it gets really fun. Every single one of these pins is like a tiny treasure chest of info. You click on any one of them, and this little window pops up with all the detail info. This is where you get the inside scoop, the permit number, the address, how much it cost. It's how you go from just a dot on a map to a real piece of evidence.
All right, next skill up, layers. And the way to think about this is actually perfect. Just imagine you have your main map, right? And then you have a bunch of clear plastic sheets. Each sheet has different stuff drawn on it. One has the bus routes, another has where the jobs are. By stacking these sheets on top of each other, you can see how everything lines up. It's brilliant.
Now to control these layers, use something called the opacity slider. And I just love this analogy. Think of it like a dimmer switch for your data. If you turn the opacity down, the layer gets kind of faint and see-through, so you can see what's underneath. You turn it up, it gets bold, and it really stands out. It's how you control which clue you're focusing on at any moment.
All right, detective, training is complete. You got your gadgets, you got the skills. It's time to put it all together and solve your very first case.
So here's the mission. We need to figure out if Nashville's jobs are in places that are easy to get to using the bus.
I mean, it's a huge question, right? But with our detective kit, we can totally find the answer.
Okay, so here's our plan of attack. First, we'll turn on the layer that shows all the bus routes. Those are the colored lines you see all over the map. Then, we turn on the layers for different kinds of jobs, and those show up as pins. Now the real investigation begins. Do the big clusters of pins line up with those colored bus routes?
And bam! Just like that. By looking at the map, the answer gets really clear. You can instantly see where big job centers are far away from a bus line, and you can see where they overlap perfectly. You don't need to read a big, complicated report. The visual evidence tells the whole story. And just like that, you've solved your first case. Okay, so you've seen what this thing can do. You've learned the skills. You've even solved a case. But that was just a warm-up. The real adventure starts now, with the questions that you want to answer. The city is just full of mysteries waiting for you to solve them. Seriously, what are you curious about? You could investigate where the most new houses are being built, or maybe find the biggest hotspot for retail jobs. You could even make a hotspot map of housing complaints, or track down where all the healthcare jobs are. The possibilities are literally endless. So, the only question left is, what case will you take on? Every single data point is a clue, every map is a lead, and every single neighborhood has a story. So go out there, start exploring, and see what secrets about Nashville you can be the first to uncover.